As your online producer friend, I've literally talked through all of the facets of online presence, online identity, set design. Bless you. Thank you. Online presence, resource management, using what you have until you have what you need, set deck, set design, and also storytelling, the fundamentals of storytelling and how it plays an overall part in building better relationships, not just in person, but online. Something that, of course, is very, very special to me, very, very close to my heart is post-production, only because I've been doing it for well over 13 years. I've been able to see so many different vantage points throughout life and over time that I wanted to at least bring an air of that into this series. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you how to do post-production and how to edit videos. Being a video editor does not make you a storyteller. It's very easy to, cut a clip, move it around, make it mean something to somebody. But I think what makes you a storyteller, not just a video editor, is how well you can create connection. Being able to create connection between you, your culture, and the audience is really what makes a storyteller who they are. Oh my goodness. I'm getting the warm and fuzzies because you're taking the audience along a journey conveyed through the sound design, through the transitions, through the movement, the positioning of the camera, the positioning of the angles. It's conveyed through the color grading. You know what I'm saying? I've had the privilege of working with some pretty dope cinematographers and videographers. Like I'm telling you, when you work with videographers that get the vision, it makes my job so easy because they were already deciding to go where it was that I wanted to go by the time it hits, post. So having synergy, like the cast synergy, but also production team, the production crew's synergy is important as well. And it's all about working together to create connection. That's all I'm trying to say. If you want to understand the fundamentals of how to record using Final Cut Pro, more than likely there's going to be a link that leads straight to my Edit Like a Pro masterclass. It is literally free. It's about an hour long, but it walks you through every single thing you could expect when working with this software, from terminology to uploading, importing, proxy media, I want to say, and everything else in between. But this video specifically is just about formatting your videos. Sequencing is basically putting all of the clips together in a fashionable way to tell the story better, right? And this is bare bones, foundation, the backbone. Taking all of the conjoined videos, the clips that you've recorded over time, and you're putting them together in a way that best tells the story that you're trying to convey. And once you tailor all of your footage to match that message, then you can start creating a pace for it. You can start trimming the dead weight off, the dead noise, the awkward silences, the ums, and all those other filler words. This is where you can start to fine tune, trim the fat, and create a pace that you know that your audience could feel, or creating a pace that you ultimately want to feel watching it back. And one of the ways that I have found it to be so helpful to keep that pace is to use spacers, like these little gray boxes in between each phrase. I talk just about as fast as my mind moves. I add these spacers in between to kind of give it a little bit more room to breathe. That's all. Now, once you have established a steady pace for your storyline, now you can start adding sound design or a soundtrack or, a music bed to give it a little bit more of a feeling. I get a real kick out of just creating my own sound design. I often add my own sound design simply because I know how I want it to sound, and it's very difficult and time consuming to find, sound designs that directly or specifically fit what it is that I'm trying to say, especially being like a storyteller. I just want to say what I want to say. And if you're anything like me, I do believe it'll make the process a little bit more authentic and easier. But if you don't have that capacity as a performer, it doesn't have to be anything extravagant, just what makes you feel what it is you want your audience to feel. Now that we've gotten sequencing, spacing, pacing, and music, sound design, covered, one of my favorite parts of the process that really ties it all together is B-roll. All B-roll is basically adding complementary or supporting footage on top of the main storyline to add just a little bit more dimension and a little bit more context to the story that you're trying to tell. Not only does it tie up a lot of rigid cuts, a lot of loose ends, but like I said, it also moves the story along without adding too many distractions, interruptions, or disruptions to your actual story. You know what I'm saying? It just makes sense. Now, a quick note though, make sure you add B-roll that actually supports what is being said, because if you just put, random footage on top of it, it defeats the purpose. It defeats the purpose.